Who else was joined and not introduced yet? Someone has not written the name Samsung SMX200. Can you introduce yourself? That will help me to find out who are the takers. Another is Dr. Alvin. Can you introduce yourself? Yes. Dr. Alvin, we can't hear you. Dr. Alvin, we can't hear you. Dr. Tejas?
आवाज
Yeah, please.
हेलो
Yeah.
सर, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? हेलो
Yeah, आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है.
जी सर, मैं सर डॉक्टर सोनाली राजदेव, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर बायोकेमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट।
Which college?
सर सत्य साई इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मेडिकल साइंस, सर सीहोर में सिचुएटेड है ये अभी। इस साल न्यू मेडिकल कॉलेज ओपन हुआ है।
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Who else? Rashmi. Dr. Tejas, have you introduced yourself?
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good evening. We meet again. Actually, I am Dr. Tejas. I am professor in forensic medicine, and I'm joining from Chengalpattu, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah. Okay. I think now Dr. Anushka is remaining, and Dr. Henil probably.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am Henil Shah. I am second year student at Sola itself.
Second year. Second first or second due?
No, second first. I'm like 2021 batch.
Okay. Okay. Good to. So I think at least once I leave the Sola on 30th November, there are a few people who have already learned about this. That will be good. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Alvin. I am a medical officer working with a PHC in Kerala, Cochin.
So you are the best person to implement this course. I really tell you, because you are in the PSC. I expect you to take this course to the at least the middle level workers. My dream is that even villages will be able to use this software and the knowledge very easily. So I hope that being in a medical, as a medical officer in PSC, I think you have a 30,000 population or 20,000 population?
We have around 40,000.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
sir, bigger PHC.
Yeah, bigger PSC. So it will be very challenging to use this epidemiological knowledge or statistics in the village. But it is very interesting if we have a live data. So we'll be introducing the software AP Info, which is very easy to use. So before I start, let me introduce myself also. Actually, I'm a dean of a medical college at GMES Medical College, Sola, Ahmedabad. And I'm a professor and head of community medicine department. And I love the subject of statistics since I was working with Seva Rural Jagadia, who got the first prize from WHO in 1985. So when we were taught about the statistics and epidemiology and undergraduate, it was boring for us also. But then when I did my postgraduate at Surat, and when I started using this software and the actual field practice, it was found very interesting. So I thought, let everybody learn this software basically. And under the banner of software, we learn the basic principles of epidemiology, statistics, etc. Although we know about it, but the thing which we should know is that it is very simple. There is hardly anything in statistics or epidemiology or research method which is difficult. The only thing, the jargons and the words used are complicated. Otherwise, the basic understanding is simple. So I think what I think that we should start with the current problems in our own places as well as country as a whole. Let me describe the current problems in our own hostel. We did a rapid survey in our hostelites, and out of 163 hostelites, 102 are suffering from one or other ailments. This comes to around 63%. So 63% of the medical students who are supposed to be health leaders, they themselves are suffering. So how we are going to talk about the population? Those who are undergoing medical education, if they are not healthy, how we can expect our population to remain healthy? So I think we should start with that. So let me start a dialogue. If these 102 people are sick, or suffering from one or other ailment, what kind of history we should be taking? Anyone can participate. I hope that you have understood the question. We have done a survey of 163 hostelites. 102 people are suffering from one or other ailments like fever, cough and cold, diarrhea, pain in abdomen, body ache, fatigue, etc., etc. So in this, if I want to do the epidemiological study instead of the data collection, what I should do? Anyone else? The thinking process is very important. So if anyone asks you of the study, first the question you should ask, what is your population? Which population we are catering? Only the hostelites or localites also? If the hostelites, there are 10 floors of the hostels. Which floor you are targeting at, right? So floor-wise also there could be difference. Each floor has a different water supply, at least maybe the same water supply, but at least the cooler or the tap water is a different. Or few people are taking water supply from the outside also. So there could be, you can ask about the water supply, you can ask about their habits, whether they are any kind of the recent events, etc. We should be asking. And you should be able to compare the localites. What happens with the localites also? The difference between boys hostel and girls hostel, we should be asking which standard they are studying, first year, second, third MBS. So many variables. And then we should ask the detail about the dates. For first date, second date, who fell sick first. Then if you want to find out secondary attack rate, for example, then the people's the staying at the same floor, staying within a room, etc. It is very interesting while we are looking back. There was an event of Navratri. And on 19th, there was a big event on Navratri. More than, I think, 1,500 or 2,000 people got together from all over the different places. So exactly after a few days, probably, this I'm just talking about probably, not sure. We need to take a history in the detail. Probably thereafter, because of the short incubation period, respiratory infection started. So such kind of the inferences can have. But then, if you want to do the detailed analysis, we need to put the dates, then the gender and the education level, then the habits, whether they're taking food from the tiffin or they're from the taking the mass food, or if they are localized, naturally they might be taking from the home. So these are the things which we should be including in the study. Now, I would say that in the same epidemic, if we want to find out the effect of let's say the Ayurvedic medicines or the homeopathic medicine, what we can do. For example, there are three categories of the people. One category of people who are severe and they need not undergo any kind of the studies. So rest of the two kind of people, few people don't want to undergo study. So let them take medicine, whatever they want. And one group, whosoever are ready to undergo a, let's say, epidemiological trial or so. So we prepare the name of those people. Let's say there are 40 or 50 or 60 individuals. Then we can randomize into 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, depending upon how much study we want to do in-depth study. For example, one group randomized into 3 groups. One is Ayurvedic medicine, other is a homeopathic medicine, and third is placebo. This kind of thing we can think of. It is difficult for giving a placebo of the Ayurvedic medicines. It is not so easy, but then we can prepare if it is in form of the tablets. So now these are the things which will be able to find out the medicines are useful or not. Similarly, there are other problems going on in our Gujarat. At least I would like to know about the Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. Also, so many deaths, young deaths, 17 years, 13 years, 23 years, 14 years, and they just die while playing the garba, working in the gym, or doing some exercise and die. So there are various theories going on, and we want to find out what could be the causes. And I expect at least one person from your group, of this group, that let us prepare the tool in the next 2-3 days. I think our next session will be on the Monday, 30th. So Monday we should be ready with at least some variables. And then we'll prepare a Google form or maybe an Epinfo form on 1st November. And then across the India, we'll start collecting the data for the purpose of the observational study or a case control study. That may take another 15 days or so, because we need to do a pilot study on our own, the formats, so that before we finalize. That will be very interesting study for the purpose of learning also. So after this much talk, I would like to ask others also if they want to talk about their current problems in their vicinity, the area nearby, like that. Anyone would like to talk? Because after 4-5 minutes, I will just scan through the few PowerPoint slides, and then we'll have question answer, and then how we are going to go about the next few sessions. Anyone else?
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I have one question, but I have just one query. Sir, on 1st of November, sir, if I am unable to attend the class, then
See,
I have any other option?
my first and foremost advice is, or I would say rather, my working style is, we are basically living to enjoy the life. Nothing on the head, right? 100% flexibility. You should enjoy the subject. It is very interesting and very, very delicious. So if you skip something, the YouTube will be there, so which you can connect and then learn. But then there is a joy in interacting. So
Sir, actually, on the 1st of November, sir, there is a Karwa Chauth occasions.
yeah, this okay. You enjoy
Yes,
that.
sir.
No problem.
I will be on fasting session. That's why the timing is 8 to 9.
Fasting is so good because there is autophagy. Because of that autophagy, people got a Nobel Prize, and then it improves removes the toxins from the body. The only my simple advice is, don't stretch you beyond your capacity, so that something which is going to helpful should not harmful. Yeah. So these are topics are very interesting, and we can interact at some point of time and clarify the doubts, etc. It is absolutely easy. There is nothing in these 3 things. I'm talking about basics only. I'm not talking about advanced statistics and advanced system methods. The basics which we are supposed to learn as a PG of a medicos and UG as a medicos. It is very simple. So, can you tell me what are the problems in your where do you stay or where you work? Any problem?
So in my area where I'm stay right now, which is a very localized area, Sihor is a very small town. Matlab, on their area, na sir, the many of people are completely unaware for the health issues.
Okay.
Matlab, basically, sir, when I'm seeing the local and very poor person over there, then they even don't know how to eat properly, how to manage your proper life, hygiene. They
So,
even don't know anything, sir.
So that is, if that is the problem, then we can identify 3-4 problems and can take a few population that with their own help, how we can improve their health with their own help. That is my specialty, that how to motivate the local people so that
जी
they
जी
can improve health. And sometimes because of the people like us, I would not say our own self, but the elite people, because of the lot of want, they
yes
sometimes
sir
ask them under the poverty. For example, doctors, they
Hmm.
seek more morbidity in the society, and the morbidity should be severe illness,
severe
more people suffering from that, and the illness should be long lasting, like diabetes, hypertension, thyroid, etc.
हाँ
And their livelihood is on that. Similarly, engineer, they will do the whatever kind of poor road condition, etc. So that might lead them to the good people for the becoming more and more poor. Then the naturally addiction will be there, etc. Anyway, so we should take as a epidemiological why people are not aware about particular thing. Because even if they have mobile, they are using something for else rather than for the knowledge building. So we can find out why those people are having this kind of problem, and then we can have intervention. So that is the epidemiological study also. I would like to ask Dr. Tejas, if I want to study the epidemiology of malaria epidemic, tuberculosis, it is okay. But can I study the epidemiology of headache? Is it possible?
I don't know how to answer it, sir. We can study, I guess. But in a more structured manner, maybe that will make more sense. Like, which type of headache, who's having the headache, why
Yeah.
it is occurring.
So, epidemiological study can be of any symptom or sign or even health also. Any health event is possible. Only thing you rightly said, we need to define it perfectly before we go for the study. So, if you want to study about the epidemiology of addiction or epidemiology of particular behavior of the people, that we can do study. And there also, why and so what will exist. There also we can use that. Anyone would like to share their problems which they can explore?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as a part of NPNCD, we were conducting a screening test. We were checking for blood pressure of all the villagers. Most of them had on higher level, like more than 130, 90, or almost all. We actually selected only people who are more than 30 years of age. And majority between 30 and 40 years, they had more BP compared to people who were on a higher age.
So this is absolutely very good finding because of so many deaths in the youngsters. So you have found out the predisposing factor. But then, just a small question: have you done a standardization of your blood pressure measurement? That means 3 teachers or 3 observers, 3 instrument, and 3 subjects, and 3 times. That means you will have 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. 81 observations with you to find out the intra-observer or inter-instrument or inter-observer, all those or inter-patient, the same patient measurement, etc. If this is too much cumbersome, at least 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, at least these 8 things you should be able to compare. Because if you are looking so much higher side blood pressure, and of course you will be talking about the older age people also.
Yes, sir.
So one thing is standardization is very important to remember this way. And then you need to, we'll be talking about the multivariate analysis also, particularly logistic regression analysis we'll learn, so that you can find out which is the factor among the youngsters which is causing this much high blood pressure. And the death is a tip of the iceberg, but there are underlying factors. So you have pointed out wonderful things that before we analyze the case control study of the death, there are live young people and live old people. Let's compare their blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol level, their habits, sleeping habits, all those things. And from that also indirectly we'll be able to come out within youngsters a normal blood pressure and high blood pressure. What are the changes in their lifestyle or behavior? So such kind of thing will be very useful. And some of you youngsters is interested in measuring the lifestyle score. We can also develop that kind of score, and then we can find out what is the lifestyle score of a particular person. You are healthy lifestyle, 100 out of 80. You're not healthy, 100 out of 20 marks, something like that.
Yes, sir.
So very good. Anyone else would like to discuss their problems, their situation? Vishwa, Shagar, someone else. So, see, this is a dialogue basically. Anytime you can stop. If some ideas come to you, you can note down somewhere, and the YouTube will be shared with you. So that also you can sometimes go through it. Someone should say something like Anjali is also there. You have one assignment that in the last lecture you remember to decide that if we want to find out our own score, only one individual, that individual wants to measure the spiritual health score of an individual. Is it possible to find out statistical significance in the speed of attaining the spiritual health? That is the question which you bring to notice at last, or maybe last but one session like that. So that will be very interesting. People have got the appropriate knowledge on. Would you like to share any problem in your area?
In our area, as an epidemiologist in the community.
Community or in your own hospital also?
Yeah, there are three types. Some they say they want to come, but we ourselves do not want to enroll them, and some which we want to enroll, they do not. So as a if they do not give us a consent, that is a problem, sir. But as such, I'm a pediatrician, sir. So in our, we usually take the parents and we take an accent if the child is little more than 7. For us, it is not that problem. But if you now in this, that is the so most of the mothers, they say no, we don't want to enroll our child in this.
Yeah. So have you find in last 5 to 10 years any trend in the pediatrics group, their habits changing or something like that, or
Yes. Now the trend has been changed. We did a survey of height and weight and how does it affect the school going children. And then after the corona, we did again. The trend has completely now the prevalence of obesity and overweight. The statistical what we saw was totally different now. Initially, it was only 25. After corona and all such things, it has gone way high, 75. This was the same students we took it before the corona, and then after we had a good time period also to take after the school started. So it was more different. Then we found asthmatic more attacks in them, allergic more we saw. So these are the trends we are seeing nowadays.
Okay, can you tell me a single test which you have applied before and after you are comparing few children, let's say for body mass index, which statistical test you would like to apply?
Now, these are the two different groups, but we don't know whether it was that same student, but there were a mix.
Even they are different groups, no problem. Even they are different groups, at least if they are from the same committee almost, then we can compare. And if they are different population, no problem. We can definitely compare.
Student t-test, sir. Sir, our statistics person, they really do. That's why I have enrolled myself. So I should know every point.
So that student t-test, what they call it. So it will be very simple with AP info. You'll be able to apply, right? And the moment so it will be easier for you to apply the test. That will be learning over a period of time. And all of you are supposed to install AP info software. Today, at the end of session, once we complete our session, maybe after a few minutes, I will share the AP info software, which you should install on your computer. And next session, we'll start learning along with the AP info also.
Yes,
so, we'll be going through the few slides now. So can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
the 21st means we usually were doing the offline almost every year. But then because of COVID-19, we stopped doing this offline, and then we started the online course. Of course, it is not that effective as it was offline, but if some of you can come to the Ahmedabad, or those who are my students in Ahmedabad, they can interact with me offline also, and it will be still better. So what will happen that epidemiology will be basically 2-3 things: case control study, cohort study, and the randomized control trial. 2-3 things will be taken examples, and you will also take examples. You can do really this or hypothetically. In statistics, we are going to have basically 2 kinds of variables. One is the qualitative, that means yes or no, diabetic, non-diabetic, or small or tall, something like that. And other will be where you can find out the mean, height, weight, blood pressure, etc. So which kind of test is to be applied? Very simple. If it is a proportion, then you use standard proportion. If it is a mean, you use standard mean. If there is a 2 groups, you are comparing standard of difference between 2 proportion. 2 groups, you are want to compare a weight, then standard error of difference between 2 mean. Something similar and simple thing will be there. And I hope all of you know how to use the Google form and Excel. If you do not know it, it takes only 5-10 minutes to learn about it. But then we'll have those who wants to learn advanced the Epinfo software. We'll be learning how to create the form in the Epinfo also. So the statistics will be basically learning what do we mean by standard error, what do we mean by standard deviation, etc., so that we can understand something about p-value. Once you understand about the p-value, the rest of the thing becomes easier. And in research method, basically when you combine the good epidemic study and apply right kind of statistics, then most of the research method is over. Your cross-section study, or the whether it's a randomized control, double blind, single blind, triple blind, like that. So we'll be combining 3 things, but at the end of the course, we expect you to complete at least 2 or 3 page project proposal, which you should be sending to a Department of Health Research. You should write down somewhere, Department of Health Research. That is a central government, the government of India. And just recently, one of our the ophthalmologist has written a project worth 37 lakh rupees, and that will be sent on the 30th October for the purpose of submission. So this is very important. Then our goal is, say the complexity is increasing, and we should have the advanced analysis methods to find out which one is the cause and which will be the factor which will be affecting that. We need to find out. But that advanced statistics, if we don't know, at least we should know the basic principles of analysis. And so we'll be sharing with you some of the files, because in 10 sessions, you can't expect to learn everything. But the files which we submit to you, you will have ample time to go through it file. And then when we are discussing over here, then you come out with your difficulties. And then all of you will have access to the computer. You will be installing the Epinfo software, and then start analyzing from the next time itself. And this Epinfo software is prepared for the doctors by the WHO. So it is very simple. The asbestos software, which is costing 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees, while the Epinfo software is just free of cost. There is nothing, is totally free. And I'm using this Epinfo software since 1989. So over a period of, I think, is already more than 35 years I'm using this Epinfo. And once the study is over, for next 1 year, we can meet once in a month, or you can send your query, etc. We'll be giving you backup for 1 year. So,
Yeah. So the main problem was how much should the population, how much should be our end. That also you will teach us how much.
can you? I can't listen you properly. Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
Hello, sir. Can I? Yeah, no.
Yes.
If you take any project or any research, yeah, if you take any project or any research, how much should be our n, the number, the sample, that we should know how to calculate depending on that population. So that all small things,
So,
will you tell us,
so,
it be cleared?
Although your voice was not so much clear, we could understand about the sample size, right?
Okay.
So we'll be talking about
Yes, sir.
sample size, and it is so interesting. And the AP Info software is an inbuilt calculator for sample size.
Okay. Okay.
But then we should talk about if I want to take a sample from 10,000 population, and I want to take another sample from 50,000 population. So will there be a difference in sample size? What do you think?
10,000 and 50. Yes, there will be.
In sample size. Okay. What Dr. Tejas is telling about this? Whether difference?
There'll be a difference, sir. Obviously, there'll be a difference.
And what Dr. Sagar says? Sagar is still student, but is still here. For me, is a Dr. Sagar. What do you think? I want to take a sample from 10,000 population and from the 50,000 population. Will there be a difference in sample size? What do you think?
Sir. Yes, sir. I think there will be a difference in the sample size because the community we are targeting is
So I have another now example, very interesting, and I'm because of the Shraddha month, we prepare a dudh the sweet milk, right? So if I prepare in my house for 10 people, and then I prepare for the 100 people, the quantity will be different, but the taste which I do it, we find 10 people, I taste, let's say 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and if there's 100 people, will I be taking a 1 liter or 2 liter for tasting? What do you think?
No, the sample size is equal, sir.
So sample size will be almost equal.
Equal, sir. It should be equal, yes, sir.
Unless it is too large. That means like a 1 crore population. In that also, because there is a problem of the proper homogeneous random sample is difficult to take. That's why you might have to break up into the stratification, and then there will be a design effect. And because of design effect, you need to improve your sample size. Otherwise, is a 10,000, 50,000, your sample size will be the same. And that's why the sample size will depend upon the how much sampling error you want to keep, how much standard error you want to keep. So, see, so interesting that I will tell you the meaning of the standard error. So, whenever some error because of sample, agree?
Yes.
Now, I again repeat why we use the statistics. Because we want to compare before and after between two groups, one drug and two drug, like that. And every time we cannot study the whole population. So we are taking a sample for a rapid study and molecular study, etc. So, but we want to talk about the population based on a sample. So whenever we want to talk about population based on a sample, there will be sampling error. Okay, clear?
Yes.
But if this sampling error, if we standardize this sampling errors by some means, that is known as standard error. So standard is nothing but standardized sampling error. But how we are doing the standardization? So we are using a formula. And that formula will be learning that this is how you can standardize. So see, if you want to have a more accurate result, I will tell you, in Hyderabad, for example, I want to find out how many people are happy and how many people are not happy. And suppose answer is around 30% are happy, 70% not happy. Now the commissioner says that I don't want to have a much larger range, because as a statistician, what I will be telling, I will not talk 30%. I will be talking of 29 to 30% people are happy. 29 to 31%. 1% I will keep a gap. So some commissioner is very accurate. No, I don't want range of the 1%. I want a range of 0.1%. Something like that, 29.9% to 30.1%. So if you want a lesser range, if you want very accurate results, then you require a large sample size. But the mayor says that it's okay, even if it's 25 to 35%, no problem. Then if your range allowed is more, then your small sample size will be enough to talk about the population. And that how much standard error is allowed, how much accurate result you want, that will also decide about your sample size. And that's why we need to consider the alpha error, the beta error, the range, etc., while calculating sample size. But AP Info will allow you to calculate in a simple manner. So what we are going to talk about, I will be sharing your files on central tendency, the distribution, and those files are very simple. You go through it, and we'll start with the central tendency, standard deviation, p-value, standard error, etc. in next session. But before that, all of you are supposed to write down few variables where you can find proportion, like black and white, disease, no disease, healthy, not healthy, or the you can say the suffering from ARI, not suffering from ARI, where is just you say characters present or absent, or caste, or religion, or surname, something like that. On gender, for example, on other side, another 5-10 variables you should write down: height, weight, diameter of the red blood cells, then number of the spectacles, right, height, or you can say the length of the bone, or if you're a pediatrician, head circumference and chest circumference, like that, all those things. So 10 variables should be characteristic variable from where you can find a proportion, another 10 variables with other continuous from where you can find out the mean. So it's say the quantitative, other one is a qualitative. This variable you are having, then you should define your population where you're going to study. Then you should arbitrarily how much sample you would like to take. Then we'll go into the further and the problem title. What do you want to do? Right, that you keep prepared. And the AP Info, I will just show you how it looks like, so that when you download it, there won't be a problem. So it will look like this. Once you install, you'll be able to open also. And we'll teach you how to use it. There's something I read command where you can read your file. Or anybody is having a birthday during this month, in month of November, anyone is having birthday out of this many 13 people?
Sir, me.
No? In
Sir,
October?
Yes, sir.
Which date?
For me,
So
26th
4th November.
4th November.
Mine is
Okay.
4th November.
Okay, suppose on 4th November, 75 people has gone for the party, right? What's your name? 4th November.
Sir,
what
my
is-
name is Vinayak Gudla.
So, okay, so Vinayak is arranging a birthday party and 75 of us are attending the party. But then unfortunately, after taking a food, some of we become ill. And then the exposure variable, few people took a cakes. And then let's find out, was there any relationship with cake and illness or not out of 75 people. It's very interesting, simple to analyze. And those who took a cake, 27%, 67% became ill. Out of 40 people took a cake and 67.5, that's 27 people become sick. And 35 didn't take a cake and 19 people, then 54% become sick. Now this is 67%, 54%. Is this significant different or not? Epinfo says that the p-test is 0.2. The probability value, p-value is 0.2, so it is not significant. But then if you look at those in the party of Vinayak, somebody took a vanilla. And let's see what happened to them. The vanilla, very interesting. And illness. So now you can see the figure. How many took vanilla? How many? Can you see this? Can you see this figure?
No, no,
No, sir.
Not readable. 54.
no,
No, sir.
Mm,
no, we can't see anything.
you can't see. At least you see something like table is there. You can see that. Or table is also not seen.
Nothing, sir. There is a screen. EP
No, we can
inform.
see only P info.
Okay. If info you can see. Just let me show the same screen. Again, I will start sharing because this is a screen. Can you see this? Still not seen?
Yeah, it is showing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a 54, right? Vanilla, yes.
Yes.
54. Can you see this figure 54? You can see the red circle, right?
Yes, sir.
So out of 54, 43% became sick. 43%. Percent is 79%. So this 54 is 100%. You can see this?
Yes.
And
Yes.
21 people didn't take vanilla and only 3% sick. So 14% sickness. If vanilla taken, 79%. Now this 79% and 14% a statistical significance, if you look at, it is 0.00018. P-value is so low, that means probability of occurrence of this event by chance is much less. That means there is some reason. So vanilla was associated with illness. This is what we'll see again and again. But then there are so many variables. How do we decide? You need not remember all this right now. You just see that we'll be applying something like logistic regression, whereby all 4-5 things we are going to look at a stretch. And if a person is sick, there could be many variables. For example, the chocolate, it may be something in fruit salad, it may be something in gender itself, male or female ratio, it could be vanilla, so many things. And when we apply everything together, we'll find a table like this, where the probability will come automatically. And look at the vanilla over here, it is less than 0.000, very strongly affected. And gender is also important. More females are affected compared to the males. That is also significant. While the chocolate, fruit salad, etc. were not that much the positive. So this is how you'll be able to do the analysis. I think I should stop here now. If you have any the quick question, we can take that questions. Else, will be starting the AP Info Learning, the next lecture. Right. I will be sharing everything over here, the required for the next lecture. So any quick feedback, any question before we stop?
Sir, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, how many devices are required? Like, I'm watching the Zoom meeting on one device. Do I require another device for the Epinfo app to be open, or on the same?
No, see, what we'll be doing, Epinfo will be doing in my laptop, right? So once you learn it over here, you'll be practicing in between the sessions. So only one device is sufficient, because you will not do the practice the same time I'm doing over here.
Okay.
So because it's very simple, we will go step by step, right?
Okay,
The
sir.
only thing is, before we start on the Monday, you should at least install that software. And if you have a problem, we'll be communicating you one number of my assistant, Hitesh Bhai, who will assist you in remotely team viewer to how to install that software if you have difficulty. Otherwise, you just copy this file on your laptop and just install.
Okay, sir. And sir, what about the sessions? Will they be held between 10 and 20 November?
Usually, it will be Monday and Wednesday. Time will be 8 to 9 p.m. And between the Diwali, time will not take this sessions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, any other question?
So I had a question.
Yeah.
So no matter what study you do with a sample size, you have inclusion and exclusions that you place.
Yes.
So would that count as your sample error?
See, the exclusion and inclusion you are defining before the study. So whenever you publish your study, you study with those things. So that is not a sampling error, because you are already announcing that you can consider under the limitation, but not under the error.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else?
Sir,
Yeah.
the Epinfo software, can we download it in the tab and or the Android phones, or do we need desktop to install it and run
It requires Windows support. So Windows support, usually you will get if there is let's say in few tablets you don't get support. Mobile, definitely you will not get that support usually. So laptop or PC, that will be better for Epinfo.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll see you in the next session. But then the ultimate thing, if you need a certificate, at least you need to prepare one project proposal, very small, but it should have a clear-cut population sample, etc. We will be learning together. Thank you all.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good
Night.
night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you, sir.